Let's take a look at the 2023 free agent class 3 years later. You guys keep liking them, so we're going to keep making them. Literally until you stop watching these videos, we will go back through every single free agent class and give you our grades for what they look like right now. 3 years later, make sure you guys are subscribed to The Wind if you have not yet seen it. I don't know when this is coming out. Merry Christmas to all those who celebrate, or if it's coming up soon, Merry Christmas. All right, James, let's get going into this. Got to start off at the top. Aaron Judge, 9 years, $360 million. What could have been Arson Judge to the Giants became Judge back to the Yankees.
Yeah, and at that time, it's funny looking back how much pub there was for a Judge to the Giants, because now, in retrospect, it seems like that was so impossible, considering how just ingrained he is in Yankee culture. Also, so funny about this Judge contract. When he signed it, because a lot has happened in baseball in the llast 3 years, highest AAV ever for a position player and the highest total contract value ever a position player.
And it's gotten blown out of the water since then.
Doubled, which is funny to think about. And also, full no-trade clause. Something when I was doing research for these contracts, all of the top guys this year got full no-trade clauses, which when we start to remind you guys about the numbers that were given out this winter, it was a very competitive free agent period with mostly horrific contracts.
Yeah, horrific contracts, but some of the players were good. It's just, again, the contracts came out to be horrible. Aaron Judge, clearly not one of them. Aaron Judge, similarly, could not, like we've talked about with Ohtani, he's like, he could not play another game, and this contract's an absolute ginormous W. This is one of the best contracts ever handed out to one of the best right-handed hitters we've ever seen.
And there's always fear when a guy like Judge signs a deal like this. Not even a guy like Judge, but when you sign like a mega deal to a guy over 30, Judge was 31 by the time he played his first game with his contract, you get a little scared. The guy's locked up till 40. Like, Judge is still so good in his age 33 season. Like, I will not believe that Aaron Judge can be bad until I see something definitively tell me that he not even just can't be bad, but not even great.
I was going to say, like, for him to be bad, it's going to take probably like 2 or 3 years of actually being bad before I go, okay, he might be done. Like
aging Aaron Judge, like, he's so dominant right now still that, like, even if you go in like an average aging curve that you give him a little bit of a boost on for like a half WAR a year, like that means in 5 years he'll still be a 7-win player.
Like, he would need the Albert Pujols, like,
fall off a cliff.
Yeah, fall off a cliff, get every single injury possible, and then also be traded to the Angels. I feel like that's the only way that he could ever fall off.
He's been better in the last, like, after turning 30 than he was before turning 30. Like, Aaron Judge has brought up his career batting average by, like, 15 points in the last 4 seasons.
Which is insane to say, because it's not like he was a low batting average guy.
But, like, yeah, he was a 270 guy. He was a 250 guy once. Like, Aaron Judge, if he continues in this trajectory, could wind up with a 300 career average by the end of, like, next 2 seasons. If he has another, like, 320 in him.
So, quick A, James?
A+++. Again, when we did
the
our
A++.
Yeah, when we did our contract rankings, he was my second best in baseball. Like, he's that good.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculously good contract for a ridiculously good player. Next up, we've got Trey Turner, 11 years, $300 million. This one, a little more of a conversation to be had here, because we know that the beginning of this contract was never going to be a problem for Trey Turner, and especially with the defensive strides that he's made last season, it looks like it's going to age a lot better. He hasn't really slowed down much. He's still hitting really well, and the defense at shortstop last year was phenomenal, which had always been the knock on Trey Turner was the defense. There's still so much time left on this contract. That's the crazy thing, but so far it's been fantastic.
It's crazy when you look back at his 3 years on the Phillies that this past season, 2025, when he had 15 home runs in 140 games, like, this was actually his best performing season by WRC Plus as a Philly. Like you said, like, there was no concerns beginning of the contract, but you forget those first 3 months he spent with the Phillies.
Well, yeah, before they gave him the standing ovation.
Yes.
I did forget about that.
It took a while for him to actually ease into this, and then this year, like, he did have his best performing season since, but you probably don't get 25 homers again from Trey Turner as a Philly.
Like, maybe once or twice, and it's going to come. If that happens, it's going to happen in the next 3 years, and then from there on, it's going to be the probably hyper high average guy, contact focus, which is kind of what he's always been.
Yeah,
is a big put the ball in play kind of guy. The concern with him is if he ever loses it with the wheels, because then that hyper focus on contact becomes even worse because you just can't beat out some of those balls that you used to.
And also, he had some, like, that 2021 season when he got traded to the Dodgers, like, gap to gap, he was unbelievable. Like, he almost had 400 on base that year. I think, did he win the batting title that year? I can't remember if he won. I think he did, because he was like 330, but he was great. And it's funny to look back on this offseason and, like, especially in context of what's happened the next two, like, we kind of felt like Trey Turner was the Corey Seager replacement for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then they let him walk too, and like that's how they reset their books and wound up getting, Ohtani, Yamamoto, and everything.
2021, he did win the batting title, 328.
Yes. Yeah, that was it. And then, again, also a no trade clause on Trey Turner, which is fun.
Yeah.
Signed till 40. It's like you still definitely have a few more very good seasons of Trey Turner, but 37 to 40-year-old Trey Turner, like they probably do get sketchy, but like if he's that valuable in the first half, who cares?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how you have to look at it for the Phillies. It's going to be a weird one to grade because this is one of those where, from what we've seen, love it. From what could be coming, scary. But I still think this is probably an A or a B range, B plus.
I was going to give the B just because again, like it's not. He hasn't been an elite hitter since he's been a Philly, and you probably he's gonna be 33 this year. That's like unbelievable for me to think about Trey Turner being 33.
Yeah, and I will say like $27 million a year, like looking around the league at shortstops, like it's not
really
that bad. It's not that
really
bad.
not.
Like what is Dansby Swanson getting paid? $25 million a year? He's way better than him. We'll talk about Dansby in a second.
We'll get to that. And like this is where also like we start to see how all-time bad this offseason is about to get. When we start going to the next group of players here.
Yeah, so Xander Bogaerts, 11 years, $280 million. That's $25 million a year. This one, woof, this is going to be bad. And it felt insane in the moment, too, because the Mets had been linked to Xander Bogaerts at times, and the Red Sox, obviously, like, bringing Xander Bogaerts made a lot of sense. He was so great there. And then you saw that contract, you're like, oh, yeah, no, he was never going to any of those teams.
And he was also never the most consistent defender at shortstop. And
he was bad.
You could also kind of feel, but there were times where he flashed like he could be a good defensive shortstop. And there was also, it seemed like kind of obvious that a lot of Xander Bogaerts' amazing production from a high batting average and tons of doubles came from just being a right-handed hitter in Fenway Park. And then he went to San Diego, which is a bad park for right-handed hitters, especially ones that don't have elite power like Xander doesn't have. Also, you know what Xander got in this contract? A no trade clause.
Yeah.
Everyone this year got no trade clause. It's crazy. But like, even like you still, the $25 million AAV, like you said, is still not awful. Like it's not like the way the Padres backloaded the Machado contract. No. It was going to be costing like $35 million in the books those years. Like it's a standard 25 throughout. But also, like, signed through 40 years old. Like, these first few years for Xander Bogaerts have been bad. You had the horrible shoulder injury, too. It's like,
that's the scary part, is that you got one good year out of him. Like, the first season, Xander was good. He was, like, 20% better than the league average hitter. Again, he wasn't great in the field, but that's never really been any reason why you got him. But 2024, dealt with the injuries, under 700 OPS. Last year, still dealt with some injuries, 720 OPS. If he's just like a league average hitter with like that fluctuating glove, this is like an all-time horrible contract.
You also had the report after the first year, like that, like he was playing second. They might give him some time at first. You were like, you gave a first baseman 11 years. Like, again, he's not.
You gave a second baseman?
Listen, he played really good shortstop last year, so hopefully they can squeeze out some more value out of that. But you definitely have to be quite concerned about Xander Bogaerts' bat moving forward because you have eight years left.
Yeah, he is signed through 2033. So,
this has claim to being one of the worst contracts in baseball. I think very simply put. For a player, besides the guys who are pure catastrophe disasters who are just not playing baseball, making big money, like this is not. It's not a good deal right now.
What are you giving it grade-wise, James?
Giving it a nice F.
Yeah, that's going to be an F. I was thinking about being nice and going D because maybe he just plays. Maybe it's a D because he'll play the entire contract and play 130 games a year.
And maybe this year he's healthy. He can have another good year defensively at shortstop like he just did last season. Like if he can be Dansby Swanson this year, this really isn't that bad of a contract because the AAV is not that dissimilar.
No, but I don't know
720 OPS, good defensive shortstop.
Yeah, it's just you're asking for a lot right now of Xander Bogaerts, which is insane to say. All right, let's move on to the next one. A couple teams dodged a big one here. 6 years, $200 million given out to Carlos Correa. One of those teams being the Mets, one of those teams being the Giants. As much as the Giants missed out on Aaron Judge, and that's like, oh man, that sucks. What a saving grace it was to have the dirty medicals of Correa for both of these teams.
Literally, like looking back in this offseason is a fever dream because Carlos Correa was a Giant. Remember we saw Jake Minsta in the
Barfly, right?
Yeah, and Barfly and Gramercy wearing the Carlos Correa Giants jersey, and then also he was a Met. Like
he was very much a Met. We worked for the team at that moment.
We unreleased.
We had recorded a podcast episode waiting for the news, and then like a week went by. We're like, where's the news? And then like you hear stuff, you're like, oh my god, what if this is a catastrophe?
It's literally a fever dream looking back. Also, again, would Carlos Correa have in this contract?
No trade clause.
No trade clause. That he waived to go back to Houston this past trade deadline. So the first player in this list that's not with the team that they signed with. I love to get to the first guy as we keep going back on these lists. Also, To trade him, the Twins had to kick in $30 million over 10 years and paid most of his contract from this year. Of course, he spent most of the year with that team. There's also...
And the Twins have been horrible.
And they're going to be horrible. Yeah. There's crazy language in the Correa contract about the vesting options. I'm sure because of how bad those medicals were. So 2029, he has a $25 million vesting option if one of these things happened. Either 575 plate appearances 2028, a top 5 MVP finish, a Silver Slugger, or an MVP in either the LCS or World Series.
Damn.
2030, he gets every single year. He has those same vesting options for the top 5 MVP, the Silver Slugger, the LCS or World Series. 2030, it vests for $20 million with 550 plate appearances. 2031, 525 plate appearances at $15 million, and 2032, 502 plate appearances. Insane they landed on that number with $10 million. And
here's gonna be my hot take, by the way. Those last few years at 10, 15 million, you're gonna probably pick that up anyway. It's just
those convert to club options if they don't vest.
Yeah, and it feels like those aren't the worst. It's just that
he'll be old then.
He'll be 36, 37.
Yeah.
I don't know, $10 million for 37-year-old Carlos Correa, is probably the going rate.
Yeah, I guess that could be like the J.D. Martinez DH contracts he was getting towards the end of his career, because I don't know how much more defense you get out of Carlos Correa.
Here's what I'll say, is that for the Twins, I think we're both in agreement this was a clear and obvious F. This was, what a mistake. I don't think it's going to be that bad for the Astros, though. He hit so much better in Houston. When he got there in the second half, he was good with them. In that small sample, he was one of the few things going right for that team. 51 games, 16 extra base hits, an OPS around 800. I think at third base, he will be able to play defense a lot longer, better there. Still has a cannon of an arm. The range, which would be the whole ankle thing with him, will be better. But also, they have Isaac Paredes, too. What are the Astros going to do?
No, the Astros have a poorly built team at the moment. I think
really bad. It's almost like they shouldn't have gotten rid of their GM that was building all the good teams and instead go with who the owner wanted.
Yeah, that's not a video for this right now. Maybe we could do a video soon about the fall of the Astros dynasty. But this is... We have to just grade the contract. We can't.
The contract itself is horrible.
The contract itself is not as bad because only a 6-year deal. His other guys got these 10s and 11s. This Carlos Correa for 6 was so much better than the Bogarts for 11.
Yes, but that's it's again an F for the Twins. I think I go C for the Astros.
I might just split the middle and just give it a D overall.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Kieran, you'll figure out what to do with that. All right. Next up, Jacob deGrom, 5 years, $185 million. Our prodigal son, the prince, Jacob. So sad to see him go. Simple man, but it's a crazy contract.
So, guess what he has in this contract?
I'm going to guess a no-trade clause.
A no-trade clause again. All the top free agents here got no trade clauses. Second highest luxury tax hit still of any starting pitcher in the league. You know who's ahead of him?
Of any pitcher in the league, highest luxury tax.
I'll give you a hint. You should think about these guys kind of together.
I should think.
I think
these guys together.
I think the other guy modeled his entire state of being after
Garrett Cole.
No,
Zach Wheeler.
Zach Wheeler. Yeah,
nice. Okay,
$42 million. He also might be shot. And also, deGrom so far in this contract, we've gone through 3 seasons of it. He's thrown 213 innings. 90% of those just came in the last season, and he's received $110 million for 213 innings.
Yeah, value-wise, horrible. Really, really bad over the first 3 years. What's crazy is it's just he's sick. Those 213 innings with the Rangers are a 2.8 ERA with a WHIP under 1, which Jesus Christ, even when this guy's not at his best, he's still one of the 10 best pitchers on the planet. It's the game you're going to play with a 38-year-old now next season. How many bullets does he have left? How many more can he throw? He took it back last year. It seemed like it was a conscious effort to stop throwing 102 every pitch, but also at the same time, that arm can't be feeling great.
Zoom out a second in the sentence you just said. Could you imagine making a conscious effort to not throw 101 miles an hour?
No, I can't even.
Conceptually.
I can't make a conscious effort to think about throwing 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, of course, you in your old age turn 30, but also deGrom has some funny club option stuff in club option language in this contract. If he would have reached 625 innings pitched for 2028, he would have received $30 million, I think it is, and for 725 innings pitched or 3 top 5 Cy Young finishes over the course of this contract, $37 million. And there's no chance he gets to those.
No, the Rangers are like, oh my God, 8th.
Yeah.
So close.
So get out of here.
Yeah, this is a weird one to grade too, because money-wise, it might be a waste, but he is still really good.
Yeah, but he also very specifically wasn't really good when they needed him to be. And, of course, they still won the World Series, didn't wind up hurting them. But if you gave the guys around the Rangers some truth serum right now, I'd say, please, I wish we never signed that contract.
Feels like it might be a common theme based on what we heard about Marcus Semion's spat with Corey Seager, that Rangers and guys not playing seems to be a problem with some people. And
again, they went all in this offseason, especially the one before when they signed Seager and Semien, and they got their ring. But right now, it's like I don't know when they're really competitive again.
He could pitch next year 170 innings again at like a, let's say, 3.3, 3.4 ERA. It completely changes how it feels right now. I'm still giving it a C.
Yeah, I was going to give the D just because he's, again, 213 innings for $110 million. I got a grade on that.
Yeah, that is insane.
That's pretty. And again, we need 37-year-old, 38-year-old Jacob deGrom to stay healthy to give that, bring this up to like a B.
The guy who couldn't stay healthy when he was like, in his 20s.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, Dansby Swanson.
James Dansby Swanson. Don't forget.
Dansby
First
Swanson.
name James.
7 years.
Got a better hair.
No, I got hair right now.
It's tough.
7 years, $177 million. You know what he had in this contract, Mark?
Could it be a no-trade clause?
A no-trade clause. A full no-trade clause for Dansby Swanson.
That's malpractice on the Cubs. That's malpractice on them to give him that.
We have a few more no-trade clauses on here that are worse. But one of them we know very well. Yeah. But this is another one where it's like, it's truthfully a fine deal, especially knowing how hard shortstops have been to come by in Major League Baseball otherwise. And this was kind of the era where we were like, wow, all of these shortstops are becoming available.
Yes.
And if you don't have a shortstop, you're really behind the eight ball because all the good teams basically have good shortstops. But now we're at the spot where Dansby is still just basically a league average hitter. He's never really been a good hitter.
No.
Truthfully, he kind of really hasn't. Really just the year in 2022 when all the Braves cheated. And that's kind of it. And then otherwise his career has just been for his career is a below average hitter by WRC plus.
Yes, 97 OPS plus as well. Any way you slice it, 732 OPS, doesn't hit for a high average, doesn't get on base, hit for the most power he's hit for in a while. Again, since you mentioned the Braves cheating in 2022, but you're getting premium defense and you're getting a league average hitter. That's the weird thing here is that's not worth $25 million a year, and I can't.
It's kind of ish worth $25 million a year.
I think he has to be premium defense at shortstop. He can't just be good.
Think about the next best shortstop the Cubs could acquire. You know what I mean? I think there's always this kind of
What's Adames' contract?
It was 7 for 150 something, right?
That sounds about right. Adames is definitely better.
I think Adames is definitely
cheaper.
Better. Adames is slightly cheaper. Double check right now on the cheapness of the contracts and the ages that they signed them, but. Dansby he's still a good defender. I don't know how good of a defender he stays through his 30s, but the range is still good enough, and the arm's always been bad, so you're not worried about that.
So Adames was 7 for 182, comes out to the first 2 years are $13 million each,
and then 7 for 177.
Yeah.
So honestly, on inflation, Adames is cheaper.
Yeah, definitely on inflation.
Okay. So I think Adames is objectively a better player, and I think he was objectively a better player when the contract was signed. This is one where shortstop musical chairs are being played, and the Cubs are we just need a shortstop.
Yeah, that was when they got rid of Javier Baez, right?
And and again, that was a bad deal. And the Cubs have been nowhere close to having another shortstop in their system anyway. So it's I still think that for them, this isn't as bad of a deal as sometimes it gets cracked up to be, while at the same time, I don't think subjectively I can't wait to talk about the Dansby Swanson contract.
Yeah, apologies. Also, Baez was 22 offseason, not 23.
But he was still replacing him.
Yeah, still trying to figure out who that guy's going to be.
Who played shortstop for them in 2022?
That's a fun question. Who was the Cubs short? I think just Nico Horner.
I guess probably Cubs fans are just freaking out. Could it
just have been Nico Horner in 2022?
2022.
I think it just was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2022 was just Nico Horner.
Yeah.
And they got Nico. Think about this. They just paid Nico Horner $177 million. That's basically what they did. And I might take Nico Horner over Dansby Swanson right now.
I was going to say, Nico probably could have handled shortstop this whole time. They probably could have left second base and that money open to get another bat.
To get somebody good.
Yeah.
that makes me think even actually, you had Dansby Swanson at home and you spent almost $200 million. I'm giving this one a D for Dansby.
Nico has had some not so great hitting seasons in between there, though.
Always league average, though.
Yeah, sure. Maybe the defense wouldn't have been as good, but he's been a rock solid defender everywhere, no matter where he's ever been. Yeah, I think I'm with you now with the Nico Horner in home there. D for Dansby.
Carlos Rodon, 6 years, $162 million. I was loving this contract when they signed it. Seems like a health thing is one of the big issues for Rodon.
Seems like you would have known that going in.
Yeah, well, that was always the concern. If he was healthy, I thought he could have been a star. I was pumped when the Yankees signed this one, not because of the Yankees. Just I was like, this is a good move. I think Rodon was underrated. He was awesome in San Francisco. Hasn't been that same pitcher. I think Yankee fans, though, and the rest of baseball, though, look at this contract differently.
Rodon was really good last year. I think
Yeah,
you're
he was,
underselling
yeah.
a bit of what he was last year. I think the growth he made with the changeup finally was a huge help to him, and that's kind of the best thing with a pitcher like Rodon, where you could pick up a new trick at this age. Like, the walks are always going to be a problem. You'll always be concerned about the health around the corner. But the time the Yankees signed this deal for Rodon, it was Garrett Cole insurance.
Yes.
And the year that Garrett Cole wasn't available, Rodon stepped up and pitched like a top guy on your staff. Again, the playoffs weren't great, but it gave him a whole year. He got you that spot. And guess what Carlos Rodon has in this contract?
No trade clause.
No trade clause again. We've gotten seven of the seven top free agents now. All of them had no trade clauses.
Yeah, Rodon's definitely an underrated player in the league. I think he's good. Yankee fans hate him because he's not Garrett Cole, but he was never going to be Garrett Cole, so.
It's also a thing right now where the Yankees probably look at Carlos Rodon. They see Max Fried being basically like a more reliable version of Carlos Rodon. Like, if we didn't have Carlos Rodon, we think there's a lot of other places we could improve this team.
195 innings, though, is huge. That's huge for them.
No, he threw a great year last year. I think that he was really good. And the year before that, 175. Like, if you would have told the Yankees the first 3 years of this contract that you would be getting a total of 430 innings, I think you definitely sign up for that.
I'm going to throw you the tweet, Kieran. When he signed, I said he's going to win a Cy Young as a Yankee.
That's not going to happen.
6 was a pretty. I didn't expect Tarik Skubal to become one of the best pitchers we've seen in a while, but 6, it's a pretty good shot for a guy that people were hating the deal for.
Not terrible. And again, like, especially that, because also that first year was so bad, it definitely left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Like, it's hard to get rid of that first impression, especially like, you know, when Carlos Rodon's on the mound, he's very demonstrative. He's very like sweaty, like the buttons are open.
He's
he's
super sweaty.
Like, he's a real figure. Everything I just described kind of describes Yankee fans in a way, but also at the time I could see them hating that, especially when his ERA was almost 7.
I am biased though. He took me out to dinner once when he was in New York. Got some nice steak with him, so for that he gets a B.
One. Yeah, I'm going to give it a C just because of the other things you probably could have done with this money. But also, I think that the next 3 years of this might not be so bad.
I got a steak. That gives me a B. All right. Speaking of Bs, Brandon Nimmo. 8 years, $162 million. Mets just shipped him out to Texas because of this contract. I think that tells you what is thought about this contract. It's bad. And in the moment, I think everybody thought this made sense. Maybe the length was a little bit crazy, and that ended up being kind of what it is that 8 years feels so long. But at the moment, it wasn't bad. It was coming off a career year where he played elite defense in center field.
No, it wasn't. I think the hope was also at the time he was like really growing as a hitter. You kind of felt like he was beginning to come into his own. So you figured that you would get 2-ish more years of good defense in center field, transition to being a good defender in the corner for the next 2-3 years. And after that, you had 2 or 3 left to kind of putter around to be not so good of a defender, not so good of an athlete. That happened fast. Like, Brandon Nimmo this year was a bad defender, and there were 5
rigid.
There was 5 for 100 left on this deal, but it was an issue to trade him. Do you know why, Mark?
I think the no trade clause.
No trade clause. We had the top 8 free agents this class get no trade clauses in their contract. Brandon Nimmo got a no trade. Carlos Rodon, Brandon Nimmo, Dansby Swanson getting no trade clauses.
I would say one of them deserved a no trade clause, maybe 2.
I think I would say none of them deserve a no trade clause. But it's funny to look back on this Brandon Nimmo contract too, because at the time that he signed it, it was 1, 2. No, at the time he signed it, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th highest average total value contract for any outfielder in the league.
Yeah, that does sound crazy.
And then since then, we've included Juan Soto and Julio Rodriguez signing their deals to jump ahead of him as well. But the only outfielders right now in a bigger contract than Brandon Nimmo are Soto, Trout, Betts, Judge, Stanton, Julio, Yelich.
Yeah, and I mean, he was so good in 2022. He was so good. He was like a 5-win player, 800 OPS, doing the Nimmo thing. And even the year after he signed it was really good. It just turned out the Mets stunk. That wasn't his fault. It's just that the last 2 years he has felt old. He hit 30, it felt like, and all of a sudden he just didn't have that same spring in his step.
And it's had like some foot and some ankle issues, some neck and some back issues. It's the kind of things that really wore him down. And again, like, he got back end consideration for the worst contract video we did. Like, it's become that cumbersome. I still think he's a good player though. It's just
I do too. Yeah, it's like $20 million a year doesn't sound like the worst. But you have to be better than what Nimmo was the last 2 years. That's the problem. Like, you can't pay $20 million a year for a 2-win player, and that's what Nimmo ended up being.
Yeah, and like right now, Anthony Santander has 4 years left at like $78 million, and Nimmo's got like 5 for 100. It's like, I don't think that's that kind of length I want a contract like this.
No. So, Brandon Nimmo, James, what are you going?
Giving him a C.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking that too.
Again, because at the time, what we knew wasn't that bad. The first 2 years were good, but then it got really bad really fast.
like, he's still a much better hitter than some of the guys that we mentioned above him who got paid way more money, too. So that's also important. He still can hit.
And at the time, he was a premium defender.
Yes.
Which is fair.
Edwin Diaz, 5 years, $102 million. Pour one out for our boy. He's no longer with the Mets either. Just got paid by the Dodgers. In the moment, it felt insane to give him this contract. In retrospect, he earned it. Besides blowing out his knee, he was pretty unbelievable.
I was going to say that to you. Like, there's definitely a question of whether or not he earned this first part of the contract, because a few months after signing it, he tore his knee in like the most destructive way possible. His patellar tendon, like an unforeseen injury with no comps to it for similar players. And then the whole first half of 2024, it was like, damn, like this guy might not be the same dude. Like,
took him a second.
That blown save against the Phillies. Remember the sticky stuff thing against the Cubs?
We don't have to talk about those, you know.
I'm just saying,
I
like,
to think about the good times.
It took a while to come back, and then he came back this year, and he was elite this entire season. And through the second half of 2024, he's very good again. But when he got now his 97 guy instead of a 99 guy, it does feel like a different guy.
And I guess this contract does kind of change from what it was because he did opt out.
It became 3 for 60,
which
is what he just signed again.
Which is what he just signed. And I'll be honest, I don't think that was a bad contract at all.
No, I don't think so either. And again, I think the bad thing is whatever happened in his physical.
Yes.
How
did we miss that his knee was getting ready to blow?
Did they stop at the waist when they were looking over his stuff?
Well,
there?
we know the Mets missed on Jose Quintana's tumor that broke his ribs.
We'll get to that later in this video. But like I can't give it. I still probably can't give it more than a C. It's not his fault, but he missed.
I was going B.
He missed. Basically, you lost a year and a half of the 3 years you had him.
B for Edwin Diaz. For
I'm
me.
giving it a C.
Masataka Yoshida. This one's a woof for me. I've become, unfortunately, a Yoshida hater. I think he's a great guy. Seems like great vibes. But this contract's insane for a guy who just was not going to hit for power and couldn't play the field.
And this one that doesn't really even make sense looking back, because this was still when Chaim Bloom was running the Red Sox. And it was kind of a multi-year teardown, building up the farm system, kind of being, pliable, a lot of flexibility. And all of a sudden, like, why are you giving 5 years at $18 million AAV to a guy that's DH only, like, who doesn't have power?
Yeah, it was so weird.
I flipped him in a dynasty league I was rebuilding this offseason for Jordan Westburg, who hadn't debuted yet. It was a coup. I think I made that trade with our friend Matt Eddy, which was
Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. But it's a shame.
Yoshida had great steamer projections though, and he still probably is a plus hitter. But it's just from the.
I don't know if he is a plus hitter, man.
I think as a lefty, I think you still probably I'm not going to, but you gave him 500 at bats. I think you're getting a 790 OPS still. Good plate discipline still.
Let's see. I mean, his highest OPS was his rookie year, 780. The year before, 760. That's tough. He's you can't have him face lefties either.
The concern is the injury last year, the shoulder thing, because there was reports that with the Devers drama that they were going to try and sneak Yoshida into playing some first base, and then there were videos of him trying to. It looked like learn how to throw. Yeah, and he was like.
As someone with a bad shoulder, sometimes you gotta learn how to throw.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like it was bad, but it's a weird one. Also, this is the first guy we're talking about in this video who didn't have $100 million total contract.
Yes, that's a lot of guys.
$900 million contracts. There was more money spent in the 2023 offseason than the 2024 offseason, and the Dodgers signed 2 guys for $1 billion, and there was more total money spent this offseason. I kind of love how crazy these teams were, but I feel like this offseason is being shared in all of these general managers meetings now. It's like, do not do this again.
No, they circled this one and said, this is the problem. Aaron Judge was there. We somehow missed him. And we gave money to Dansby Swanson.
And Brandon Nimmo and Masataka Yoshida. But I think this Yoshida is comfortably an F.
Yeah, Yoshida's an F.
Just a bad contract.
It's bad, and he would have to do pretty incredible things that seem unlikely in the next season to make it any better.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras, now, for the Red Sox, might be the Yoshida killer, honestly, for that team. Cardinals, 5 years, $87.5 million to play catcher at the time.
To be Yadier Molina's replacement.
Yeah, which that sounds like sacrilege if you were a Cardinals fan.
It also sounds crazy even talking about that. And we're almost at the 2026, depending on when you guys are watching this. Like, that's not even that long ago when we thought that was the case. And now Wilson Contreras hasn't even been behind the dish in 2 years.
No, yeah, he hasn't played. Or last year was the first year.
Last year was the first year, but since he was a full-time catcher, 3 years?
Last year was the first time he played first base as a St. Louis Cardinal.
But even the year before that, he did a lot of DHing.
He did some DHing, yes, but he was still main catcher.
How many games did he catch in 2024?
2024, he caught, of the games that he played.
Between catch and DH.
He caught 51 DH 33.
I guess he got hurt a lot that year. Yeah, so I guess he was still a full-time catcher. But yeah, no, it's just like This also just the bat makes this one not even that bad.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. This is totally a B to me. Like this is one of the clearest Bs because in the time that he played with the Cardinals, over his 3 seasons, 344 games, the biggest knock you would have on him is he just didn't play full seasons. In the 2 full seasons that he did play, like 130, 125 games, he's like 25% better than league average. Like he mashed his OPS with them was over 800. The Cardinals suck, and it is not an ounce of his fault.
And like he's a little bit older at the time of signing, but pretend he went into this contract as a first baseman, just as the hitter he was. Like over the last 3 years, he has in much fewer games, many fewer games, a higher OPS than Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso just basically got double this contract for the same amount of years.
Think about some of the free agents that have been signed to first base to play for teams recently, like Christian Walker. We're going to talk about Jose Abreu in this video. Like, it seems like a lot of people missed on this one. This deal, 5 for $87.5 million. Yeah. Right now it's a B because, again, just has to play a little bit more. But by the end of this could be a clear A, depending how he plays with the Red Sox.
Especially because he can walk into Fenway Park as right-handed batter. And even in his mid-30s, have 2 of the best seasons of his career.
Without a doubt. Especially that bat speed. It's still good. So, yeah, it's a B for me, but has potential B A.
Yeah, firm B for me as well.
Justin Verlander.
He's getting crazy now.
Deep breath. 2 years, $86.66666 million. This is when Steve Cohen was pulling the strings.
Yeah, this was, again, this offseason looking back is a fever dream, especially for the Mets, because the Mets failed miserably in 2022. And we're like, let's run it back and push the chips in on dinosaurs.
We interviewed Justin Verlander. He signed with the New York Mets. Next thing he did, go talk to Mark and James for 10 minutes. We met Kate Upton. Well, we didn't meet her. We saw Kate Upton.
I almost fell onto the ground.
Gasped.
But it was at the time, like, this felt crazy because Justin Verlander the year before, like, he was still really good. And this 2023 season, Justin Verlander was still really good that year.
Yeah, I know. It was
easy
just
to forget. And, I think that what's going to wind up coming out of this contract is the fact that the Mets got Ryan Clifford out of it, who's now ascending a pretty clear, like, top 75-ish prospect. Like, he's in that range. And it's not really Justin Verlander's fault that he pitched well, but the Mets completely fell apart around him. He only made, 9 starts as a Met?
He made 16 starts as a Met, 3.15 ERA, 94 innings. Like, all the numbers were really good. He didn't do anything wrong. It was just time to sell.
Yeah, just a funny thing that a couple guys in this list who left the Astros wound up being traded back to the Astros.
Yes.
But I still think this, just giving Justin Verlander $40 million AAV at, how old was he at the time? Yeah, I think that's a D.
Yeah, that's a D. Because you got, in that contract, you did get one good year. He helped the Astros a lot in 2023.
If the Mets plan would have come to fruition, he still would have been good for them.
Yes.
Like,
the problem was that year 2 with the Astros, he was horrible. So, yeah, D.
Yeah, so yeah, D for that.
Next up, Kodai Senga.
Yeah.
Kodai, we got to talk about this one. This is a fun one to just talk about from a mindset standpoint because 5 for 75, it's almost impossible for this to be bad. All he has to do is pitch. The problem is the pitching.
And it was very funny that when this happened, people in the Mets community, I think, were like freaking out that we got him this, because especially when he was so good as a rookie in 2023, people were like, wow, this is an ace. We're paying him nothing. And there was so much risk baked into this deal because I think they knew how worrisome the health was. Like, he had an opt-out available after this year if he were to get to 400 innings. He got to 160 in the first year. Kodai Senga only needed 250 innings basically over 2 seasons to let that opt-out go for him, and he couldn't get there. And then he also has a 2028 option that kicks in if he has Tommy John surgery on his right elbow that keeps him on the IL for 130 days.
Seems like there
was a lot of injury language in this contract that was like, at the time I was like, oh man, this is scary. And like, even it's still worth it. It's still a good deal. Kodai Senga could be a reliever this year. This would be a good deal.
Yeah, like it'd be a little expensive, but like it would still be a good deal. 5 for 75, especially because that first year was so good. I think he's going to be pitching, whether it's for the Mets or another team, and he probably gives you like 120 innings on the floor, and that's
even if he gives you 80.
That's like around a $10 million pitcher. You overpay by $5 million. This is by no means a bad contract. I'm not going to say it's good, but it's not bad.
No, it's just a shame for the Mets that we used all of the surplus value in the first year when the team was terrible.
Yeah, in the year where they had no chance of doing anything. So
Kodai Senga had 166 innings with an ERA under 3 and a strikeout rate near 30%.
Dude, Kodai Senga had an ERA under 2 for most of the year this season.
Yeah, he's just a magician with that stuff. But again, like, if he comes back, he even got to 113 innings this year. Like, even just still, you've paid him $45 million and you've gotten 280 innings, like, of an ERA at 3 exactly. That's still
pretty good.
That's still based on like the dollars per win. That's well worth it.
I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah, actually I won't give it an A. Too many Mets fans watching. Also, I'll give it a B as well. But like for value, it's still great.
The reason it can't be an A, there's a weird thing going on with them in the Mets where there's a disconnect, and who knows what the hell's going on with Kodai Senga.
Yeah. Next one. Oddly, the exact same contract. Andrew Benintendi, 5 years, $75 million to the White Sox.
I want to make this one quick. F.
Yeah, F. Do you remember when he was a Yankee?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's handsome.
I guess he is, but like
got great hair.
This is one of the worst contracts in the league.
That's the biggest free agent contract the Chicago White Sox have ever handed out.
And now he gets to be Munetaka Murakami's teammate.
He's going to be taking DH reps away from Murakami. That's how bad he's been.
These are going to start to get really ugly, guys, so strap in.
Taijuan Walker, 4 years, $72 million. Again, I don't think we have to talk about this one for too much.
No, it's an F. But I will give Taijuan credit for this past year really bailing out the Phillies. Like they were kind of shot in the back of the rotation, and he showed up and he pitched. He pitched well enough. Like he was
a warm body.
He was a league average pitcher who was a bulldog on the mound, like we always used to say about him. He got them through the back half of the season. They didn't really need it because they won the division by so much, but like he showed up when they needed him to, which that's the least he could have done for this money.
Still an F for me though.
Definitely an F.
Jameson Taillon, 4 years, $68 million. Remember when he was a Yankee?
Yeah, geez, I do remember he was a Yankee.
What do you think about this one, James?
This is the one that's really good in retrospect. If you could have told me at the time that Jameson Taillon got less money for the same amount of years as Taijuan Walker, I would have been like, that's probably a good deal. Now looking back, like I know Taillon is, I'm always going to also give him some credit for how much shit he dealt with.
Beat cancer twice?
I think it was cancer once, Tommy John twice.
Okay, something crazy.
Yeah, but like minimum 2 Tommy Johns and 1 cancer.
Yes.
And like he's now still like he's in his mid-30s. He throws junk at this point, but he still finds a way. Like you could put him in the back of your rotation and not feel terrible about Jameson Taillon.
Yeah, like getting paid $17 million a year, right? That's his AAV right now.
Yeah.
So just comping this to pitchers still in the league right now who are getting similar AAV, you're looking at guys like, Logan Webb's kind of an outlier because that's one of the best ones. But like that's like Mitch Keller. It's like Lance McCullers, Michael Wacha. He's exactly those kind of guys.
I think that's a square deal for a guy like Jameson Taillon.
The problem is that I think Cubs fans expected him to be this frontline guy, which he's not. But that's not his fault. That's Cubs fans' fault.
Of course, but also when you see the money like this, you should never expect that.
No, of course not. But like,
you just said the comps.
Yes, the comps are exactly what he is, which is why a B for Jameson Taillon.
I think so too. In the same offseason, he got less money than Taijuan Walker.
Yes.
Who I think we all knew was not very good.
Yeah. Yes. Chris Bassett, leaving the Mets. Good riddance, 3 years, $63 million. And we had the qualifying offer, too, attached to him.
Yes, we did. We got
That's crazy thinking about it.
Chris Bassett made this contract worth it this playoff run. Him walking
he was really good.
Him showing up in those playoff rounds and being a dog out of the bullpen was sick. Like that, again, I also think that Chris Bassett, he definitely earned this money. Like he showed up there. 200, 171, 170 innings without the playoff runs. Like that guy was on the mound. He pitched well. Like this was starting pitching is just quite expensive, and you got a guy that showed up for you when you needed him to.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, good solid B for Chris Bassett.
Jose Abreu. This is going to go down in history as one of the worst deals ever. Luckily, it's not like 20 years, but in terms of a short-term contract that failed miserably, this is towards the top of the list. 3 years, $58.5 million, and he didn't even make it through the first season.
No, he wound up only playing 176 games for the Astros.
So bad. He was so bad. He fell off a cliff so quickly, and it's crazy because I don't know how it happened. I don't feel like the signs were there. He was still hitting the ball extremely hard. Felt like he still made good swing decisions, and he just got to Houston and stunk.
Which is funny because usually the reverse of this happens. Usually players around the White Sox, they're not good. They wind up in organizations like the Astros, and now they get a breath of life. But no, Jose Abreu was terrible. The funniest thing about the Jose Abreu contract is that the Astros turned around, did the same thing right after.
Said, Christian Walker, you're next. And it's
34-year-old Christian Walker, the same thing. But this is as firm of an F as we had. I almost want to bring some of the other Ds and make them Fs and make them Ds because of how bad this one is.
Yeah, this is a resounding F. He didn't do anything good for that team.
No. Next one I think is actually probably maybe the best value contract in this entire board.
Oh, this is a hands down easy A.
Robert Suarez, 5 years, $46 million to the Padres, leaving the NPB, and came over as a hard-throwing, older right-handed reliever. There were definitely some questions about how he'd translate. He translated so well. Like Robert, the last 2 years of this contract, Robert Suarez led baseball in saves. Like I think Robert Suarez given up a lot of big home runs, and that kind of made Padres fans kind of have not love him, but Robert Suarez was so good for this contract. Truthfully, one of the most reliable relievers in baseball the whole time.
Yeah,
besides 2023 was kind of weird, but like we still knew
getting paid $9 million too to be that lights out is insanely valuable. Again, you saw the contract he got as he's older. He got paid way more than what they brought him in for.
Yeah,
and kind of just a proof of if you throw hard and you throw strikes, you're going to be pretty successful at the major league level.
He threw harder as the contract moved on. Like he came into the league still throwing 97, 98. Last year he was back to like 100. Like it was crazy.
It was an awesome contract. That one's definitely an A.
Firm A.
Old Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $43.5 million. Oh,
how did this happen?
I think with old Mitch, one, I think the Giants got kind of caught with their pants down and were like, we don't have outfield. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's happening. We desperately need major league players in the outfield. This is before Elliot Ramos and guys.
And the injuries were very bad.
Yes, the injuries had been brutal for him. And I think that was also part of it is that when he was healthy in the years that he had great seasons. Like 2018, he was a 6-win player. Even in 2022, 2021, like he put up about 200 games of, like at 2021, he 39 home runs, 100 RBIs.
You know,
it always felt like the injuries held him back. So this was like, we can bank on his health, and then it didn't work.
These are also organizations at the time felt kind of kindred, like the Mariners feel like the Giants' cousin organization. Yeah. Like they just kind of feel that way. The fan bases,
no one's got a big free agent.
Like there's just this. They give me a similar vibe in what they are, but also like I looked at this contract. I was like, Mitch Haniger hasn't even played professional baseball in 18 months.
No,
like he might never play. He might never take another big league at bat, which is sad for Mitch.
I think he's done. Yeah,
but the way the injuries have taken a toll, but like it's. At the time, you were like, "Oh, this guy's already had a lot of injuries."
Yeah,
like these weren't all new injuries.
Some crazy ones for sure. Very unlucky, it seems like at times. So he was.
No, seems like a good guy.
Did he hit the foul ball that hit the plate and hit him in the bad spot?
Yeah, he got the ball. He got the ball shot.
Yeah,
not shot.
F.
Yeah, sadly enough. But again, I feel bad for Mitch.
Want to do some rapid fire here with these last few?
Oh, there's a lot of interesting ones down here, so we got to start going fast.
All right. Anthony Rizzo with the Yankees, 2 years, $40 million. Great, James.
I mean, I want to give him a C, but like the Yankees kind of screwed him over with the concussion stuff.
Yeah, it was a bizarre one. I'll give him a C just because I like the guy.
And he was a good vibe guy with the Yankees. He played well when he was on the field. Next one, Zach Eflin, one of our favorites of this offseason at the time. 3 years, $40 million, going from the Phillies to the Rays after he pitched great that playoff run.
Yeah, the last year, being this year with the Orioles, was the worst one. When he was with the Rays, he was awesome.
Yeah, weirdly, the back just completely fell apart on him. But like this, even just because that happened, still no money really. Like I still give it like C. I was gonna go C+. Like it's a good deal. Tyler Anderson, 3 years, $39 million. Giving him the qualifying offer. I mean, this one, if you want to know about the difference between organizations, franchises like the Angels and the Dodgers, it's exactly this process with Tyler Anderson. The Dodgers pulled Tyler Anderson out of the doldrums, 2021, 2022. 2022, Tyler Anderson threw 108 innings with a 2.5 ERA.
That's great. Yeah, I remember against the Mets.
That Friday night against the Mets. I watched that at TGI Friday in Queens with my sister. I took her to a Bon Iver concert in Forest Hills for her college graduation gift. And I was like, we got to watch the Mets. I'm sorry. Dragged her to TGI Fridays for a late night game at 10 o'clock after the show. In LA?
No. Oh, you're talking about that one. He also had a great game against the Mets. Well, he always pitches well against the Mets in Citi Field.
Lefty. No, that I'm thinking about the one in LA where he went like 6 innings, 2 hits, and he just made the Mets look horrific the whole time. But then a team like the Angels, you pay the qualifying offer penalty. You give him a relatively high AAV for 90-mile-an-hour Tyler Anderson, and he's terrible for you for the whole contract.
Awful. Like, what's crazy
is, though.
At $13 million, it is tough to like not be worth it if you just throw 160 innings a year, which he basically did. But like the fact they had a qualifying offer and then you gave him that contract and he was so bad, I have to give it a D.
Yeah, I think so too. And this is also a good lesson where the Dodgers are very shrewd this offseason, and then they really reap the benefits of not having those super long contracts on their books.
Michael Conforto, 2 years, $36 million with the Giants.
I didn't even remember this happened. Like, what people have been giving Michael Conforto $18 million a year every single year in perpetuity to not be that good.
He was so good, but yeah, I mean, like C, D.
Also, again, the shoulder. I feel so bad for Mike. Yeah, it just
ruined it. Probably a D, honestly.
Yeah, it's $18 million, 2 years, D.
Rafael Montero getting $34.5 million for 3 years from the team he came from. Bad. One of the worst.
So bad.
He got paid way more money than Robert Suarez per year, and he stinks.
And again, not a hard-throwing reliever relatively, and a guy who's always had some bad control. He had some good blips of control that made them believe. When the second this was signed, we were like, oh, this is terrible. This is a firm F.
A firm F.
Yeah.
Nathan Eovaldi with the Rangers, 2 years, $34 million. This one to me, even though they had the qualifying offer attached, this is a firm A.
Yeah, this is a great deal. I mean, those
fantastic.
Those 2 years for Nathan Eovaldi, they weren't even as good as the last few, and it was still an A.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a big game pitcher. I love Nathan Eovaldi.
Great. Lot more I want to get through here, so let's move fast.
All right, Josh Bell, 2 years, $33 million to the Cleveland Guardians. F.
Nah, C. He wasn't terrible with the Guardians.
Was he not as bad as I'm remembering?
Oh, wait, actually, I think he actually was.
Josh Bell hasn't been good at baseball in a minute.
Yeah, I just did the bad confusion with Josh Bell. Yeah, that was wrong. F.
Yeah, well, he was bad with the Guardians, not bad with everybody else.
Actually, no, wasn't it? He was a league average hitter those years. He's 22 homers, 2023. He just didn't play. He just got traded immediately.
He just wasn't good.
He just keeps getting traded mid-year. That was it. But he was.
Yeah. What is that? $16 million a year for a league average hitter sucks, actually.
Yeah, that's probably bad. I'll still give the D because he wasn't like terrible. He's average.
I'll go F just to be mean.
Yeah.
Taylor Rogers, 3 years, $33 million. You want to talk about that one?
I was gonna say we could have skipped this one.
All right, you go down the list. What do you got written down?
I mean, Kenley Jansen, I think, is a good one. 2 years, $32 million from the Braves to the Red Sox. Like those Red Sox teams were weird, but he was a very steady factor for them. I think
he was also weird with them when he just disappeared at the end of the season.
Yeah, that was weird. I think that's basically an A. He said he wanted to be a part of the Mets. Skip a few now. Jose Quintana, 2 years, $26 million to the Mets. At the time, thought it was bizarre. Looking back, what a godsend this guy was.
God bless Jose Quintana.
But that first year, 2023, Jose Quintana had a tumor so large in his rib cage that it forced a stress reaction in his rib.
And the Mets missed it?
The Mets missed it in the physical, which is you got to look for tumors in physicals. I think that's a big rule for me. Andrew Heaney, 2 for $25 million.
That guy's been getting paid
to the
too much money for too long.
This was another one very similar to that Tyler Anderson situation. The Rangers was like, yeah, Dodgers got a career year out of a soft toss and lefty. Let's pay him. The Dodgers don't want to pay him. Let's do it ourselves. Weird one. That's a nice D.
Yeah, Sean Manaea signed with the Giants. Stunk with them. They hated him.
Terrible.
It was horrible when he was with the Giants.
He also said, looking back, that he didn't really put his best foot forward that contract. He said he kind of was out of shape himself. It was just a bad situation. Again, another similar one to the Dodgers. Justin Turner leaving the Dodgers for good. He's signing 2 years, $22 million with the Red Sox. No harm, no foul.
Right?
He well. But again, I'm trying to draw these parallels with what the Dodgers are doing this offseason, trying to prep themselves for the spending spree.
I do love seeing some of these like random guys down the list. Cody Bellinger signing a 1 year, $17.5 million with the Cubs
after getting non-tendered by the Dodgers. That's a great deal for the Cubs.
Great deal for the Cubs. Man, the Angels gave Brandon Drury $17 million.
I'm like Jordan Lyles. Like I salute my innings eating king. Gene Segura signed his last deal.
He was so good with the Phillies and died on the Marlins. Dead.
Maybe the worst contract in the history of baseball. Omar Narvaez to the Mets, 2 years, $15 million.
So bad.
He wasn't even just like a negative value player. He was worth like -2 WAR.
How about a clear A? Seth Lugo, 2 years, $15 million to the Padres. One of the best contracts given out ever.
I think another clear A. Matt Strahm Phillies took the shot at him, 2 years, $15 million, and they turned him into one of the best high leverage relievers in the league.
Ooh, to go against your Dodgers here, 1 year, $13 million to Noah Syndergaard.
Take a shot on Velo.
This was one of the worst shots ever.
Yeah, it was a very bad shot. I mean, similar. Matt Carpenter got another contract that offseason after he had his insanity year with the Yankees.
The White Sox paid good guy Mike Clevenger.
Joey Gallo. Detroit, the Tigers took their shot back on Matthew Boyd before he re-broke out this year.
Man, looking back on some of these are crazy to see guys that got paid.
I mean, J.D. Martinez is 1 year for $10 million with the Dodgers. He was awesome that year with them.
Marlins paid Johnny Cueto.
Brandon Belt got his last contract. Well, we'll never know why Brandon Belt never got another deal.
Pirates spent $8 million that offseason. It was on Rich Hill.
Yeah, I mean, good.
And Carlos Santana, that's right.
Our boy Matt Moore got 1 year, $7.5 million for the Angels. Pitched pretty well, too.
Will Myers. Holy crap. He's like 33, I think, still.
This also might have been one of the other best deals this offseason. David Peralta, he took like 500 plate appearances for the Dodgers to pay him $6 million.
He was great.
That was a chaos Dodger season. I mean, but this is just the Tommy Pham Mets deal, famous Tommy Pham Mets deal.
For Zach Davies?
Yeah, I'm scrolling. Heimer Candelario, Jamer Candelario.
I'm trying to see if there's any sneaky good ones here as we get towards the bottom.
Sneaky, amazing one. Aroldis Chapman, 1 year, $4 million to the Royals, who flipped him for Cole Reagans.
Yeah.
Talk about a sneaky good one.
That's one of the best ones, without a doubt. Good catch on there. The rest of the list, though, Danny Mendick, 1 year, $1 million, one of the great ones.
You tell me right now, Vince Velasquez, give him one more shot.
Oh, I'll never give up. I saw that guy throw left-handed.
Luke Voigt signed the contract this offseason. Brad Foote signed the contract that offseason.
Darren Ruff.
Dominic Smith.
Yeah.
Yari's Familia took a deal with the A's. That guy left baseball too soon. Jimmy Nelson got his shot with the Dodgers. I really thought Jimmy Nelson was going to come back. Alex Reyes.
My former teammate, Alex Reyes.
It's a crazy. Your boy Raimel Tapia.
God, I miss Raimel Tapia.
This is the third. Oh, Luke Weaver got his first shot at redemption with the Mariners. Now
Nice.
he's signing big deals. That's a good one. Like this, Eric Hosmer got a deal for U.S. currency.
Yeah, they paid him real money.
Carson Kelly, Brent Honeywell. Like there were some guys
Aaron
who
Hicks.
There were some guys who did bring their careers back on track after this offseason.
Did you mention Brad Hand?
I did mention, Brad Foote.
Okay, yeah, Brad Foote.
Ryan Tepera, NL MVP vote getter.
Wait, Corey Dickerson, Harleen Garcia. Oh my God,
Blake Perkins. I didn't know he was a cut by the Yankees.
Had no idea.
That's crazy. Again, it makes sense that as we keep going further back, these get crazier and crazier. But I think we could even go back a few more years, and this one might be the wildest offseason that we revisit.
Until we get to the point where baseball was like just being stupid at points, where they're like high average, best player in baseball. You have to be.
Brett Phillips got a mill. Trevor Gott got a mill.
Trevor Gott. Can't forget Trevor Gott.
Will Smith in his pursuit of World Series championships, he got a mill.
Got another ring, right? That was the Rangers?
Yeah, that was the Rangers year.
Man, what a run for Will Smith. I think that's where we'll end it.
Yeah, with and Robbie Grossman.
Shout out you guys. Thank you for watching another just 50 minutes of ball talk. If you keep liking them, we'll do 2022 offseason next. Just let us know by subscribing, liking the video, watching it, all that good stuff. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Giraffe Neck Bark. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.